everybody, I'm Liz, and I finally have a book review Monday video for you guys because I finished Stormglass by Maria V Snyder. This book takes place 4 years after, I don't know if it's the second book or the third book in the study series, and it follows a character you meet during the second book. Her name is Opal, and basically we find out in the study series that she has a unique magical ability with glass. She weaves magic into these glass figurines that she makes, and these glass figurines have specific magical properties. And basically this book series takes off where Opal is learning what her magical abilities are. She's trying to figure out whether she can expand upon them. And so she is at the Citadel in the Magician's Keep learning and all of that stuff when the Stormglass clan is having an issue with their Stormglass creations. They have these glass orbs that harness the power of the storms in order to use them as energy. However, for one reason or another, these glass orbs are breaking, and so the Master Magicians are seeking Opal's expertise in glass in order to figure out what's going on. Did I like this book? Not exactly. I felt like some of the issues in Maria V Snyder's writing during the study series didn't get improved upon for this series, so I got really distracted. I felt like I couldn't connect with Opal or any of the other characters in the story, and Opal is strung up upon some very serious tragedies that happened to her during the study series. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but basically things happen in that book and she hasn't recovered from it even though it's 4 years into the future. It really holds her back, and it holds the reader back from being able to connect with her. And so I felt very distracted and I couldn't really get into the story. Another thing that I don't know if it happened during the study series, but she ends every single chapter on a cliffhanger. But it's not quite a cliffhanger, it's more a pause in a thought. And it makes you keep reading, and I guess that's really great to drive the plot, but to me it was just annoying, and I wanted something a little bit more concrete when we moved from chapter to chapter. Another thing that really irritated me, and this is for those of you who can't stand love triangles, I can handle a good love triangle, and sometimes I enjoy love triangles, especially when they're written well, and I feel like the personalities of the characters are very well thought out and you can really see the sides of each character. However, in this book, it's very one-sided. It felt very forced, and it didn't feel natural to me at all. And I just didn't really care for it, and I didn't really like the characters exactly and how they went along with the plots and everything that happens. And there's a lot of plot driven by what happens in the study series, especially because it expands upon what happens by the end of the third book, the fire study story, which was really nice, but at the same time, I just felt that, I don't know if it was because it was Opal's mindset and Opal's point of view the entire book, but I just felt very distracted. I didn't connect with anybody, and so it was really hard to read it, and that's another reason why it took me approximately 2.5 months to read it. And that's really strange for me because I gravitated towards the study series and I read the study series books very, very quickly and I loved them. I don't know what happened with this book, but it just wasn't the case. And that really bums me out because I wanted to enjoy this book. I love that it expands upon Ixia and Satya and just that entire study series realm that Maria V Snyder created. I don't know why the characters didn't really kick off with me, and I did enjoy seeing Yelena and Leaf again. We even get to see Janko and Ari, which are some of my favorite, absolute favorite characters in the study series, so I was really glad to see them again. I felt that towards the end, some of the plot points grasped my attention more, and I was actually very interested to see how it went on. However, I guessed everything. Nothing was a surprise to me, and that's, I think, another reason why the plot didn't grasp or drive my attention to the story as much. And so if you haven't guessed quite yet, the book made me feel like I don't want to continue with the Stormglass series. I don't really want to read it. However, I had my hands on the Shadow Study series, which is book 4 in the study series. It is also technically book 1 in her Soul Finder trilogy. And I decided to pick this up this morning and read it, and I found out because this takes place 6 years after the events in Fire Study, which means it takes place 2 years after the events in the Stormglass series. And let's just say that even though Maria V Snyder is really good at recapping what happens in previous books, she leaves a lot of the Stormglass series out of this book. However, it alludes to a lot of important things that happen in the Stormglass book, but it doesn't actually expand upon it to where I understand the quirks and things that are happening in this book. So it puts me in this really bad situation. I need to read Stormglass to understand some of the fine points in this book. And if I don't read the Stormglass series, I might further be confused. And so putting me in this dilemma, I really don't know what to do. So if you guys have any pointers, tips, tricks, or whatever to get me reinvested and read the Stormglass series, if it's a book series that you really enjoy, really like, please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really not certain what I want to do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you stick around, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!